Somebody sent me a video when Kathryn Kulhman was dying. If you hear the stories of her, the presence of God, a very thin woman, very small. She was almost bones. When she was dying, she was about 40 kilos. 1 a.m., the thing, and she went, 1:13. And suddenly, the room was filled with a smell of roses. And the lady didn't know what it was. And when the supervisor came, because she had to call, because she was a student, this lady is giving a testimony at Benny Hinn service. She's giving a testimony at the Benny Hinn service that she's the one who declared Kathryn Kulhman dead. She was the one who was there. So she called her supervisor because she was working at an intensive care unit. She called the supervisor. Supervisor came. When she came, she said, this is where it's coming from. Across the road, we are smelling the roses. You see, there were many angels there. Much presence and much glory and presence. I will show thee my glory. I will show thee my glory. There was much presence. Angels, cherubims are always found where God's presence is. Read your Bible. If there's presence is there, there's cherubims. Many. So she said, this is where it's coming from. We are smelling it there. They said, there's no rose here. But that was the presence. So she didn't know what it was. And then the lady told her, well, if you are working with people who are dying, you should expect to see a lot of different things. She just the advice they gave her as a young girl. There are many things you see when people die. They didn't know what it was. The presence. So they asked, was there anything else she said before she died? She said, at my funeral, I only want roses. Yes. Beautiful. And how was the roses? When I go, roses. I'll show you my beauty and I'll show you my goodness. You don't need more than the presence of God. When Kathryn Kulhman died, she had an aeroplane. She had people used to leave their estates to her. The diamonds, and she didn't have anything to do with it. Because they said the money we would have spent for healing and all that, we were healed. And you know, one of the things about Kathryn Kulhman's healings, you know, as a doctor, you know, it's more difficult to convince a doctor of a miracle than a lay person. But the book that I have written by a doctor and some of the other books I have about her with the miracles, look, there is no explanation apart from some superior supernatural power. Presence of God. In the presence you see the goodness. I'll make all my goodness, all my money, my aeroplanes, diamonds, silver, gold, everything. I give it to you. You see it. Then I'll proclaim the name of the Lord before thee.